Right now, I'm joined live by Michael Weiner. He's a senior scientist studying extreme weather and climate change at the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory in Berkeley, California. Michael, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So we're seeing these scorching temperatures not only in Texas right now, but also in parts of the Midwest, also the South where we are right now. And I know that you have said that you can't blame everything on climate change, but how much do you think climate change is having an impact, and how much is it to blame for this current heat wave?
Well, it's a complicated question, but there's no doubt that climate change has made this heat wave hotter. I estimate probably about 5 degrees Fahrenheit warmer, and it's a more likely event because of heat waves. Well, Texas has had heat waves in the past. Some of them have been very severe, and some of those have been exacerbated by climate change. This is a particularly dangerous heat wave because it's not just hot, but there's also high humidity, and so it's been warm at night.
So tell us a little bit more about how climate change might impact these heat waves, because it seems like this is a trend in a state like Texas where, like you were just saying, a heat wave is not uncommon. Are these heat waves becoming more of the norm? Is there anything that we can do right now to curb this problem?
Well, they are getting worse, and what defines normal is sort of a difficult question. One thing that's quite clear is that heat waves in Texas and elsewhere in the United States are longer and hotter, and that combination is what makes them dangerous. What can we do about about reversing this trend? I think that's probably not going to be able to happen. I mean, we could maybe slow it down if we reduce our dependence on fossil fuels, on coal and oil and natural gas. I think the most important thing, though, is that there are things we can do to make them less dangerous. Um, the people that are most at risk of dying in these in heat waves are the very young, the very old, and the very ill, and especially the very old. And so, the thing that people can do is to check on their friends and relatives who may be elderly, and just simply ask them, are you okay? And if they're not, of course, take some action.
I wanted to ask you about the heat dome in Texas. Explain to us how it works and what it means exactly. How does it form?
Well, it's controlled by the jet stream, and the jet stream is in a particularly unusual configuration right now, and so it's actually cold here in California, um, uh, and partly due to that, to the way that the jet stream controls the circulation in the atmosphere. And so basically the air over Texas is sort of stagnant, and as because it's the summer, it heats up. And in order for there to be some relief, that heat dome is going to have to dissipate, to move, and that's really um, uh, controlled by this unusual configuration of the jet stream, which may also be related to climate change. This is one of the more active areas of scientific research.
Now, Texas's power grid has previously struggled during these extreme weather events, and it has seemed to fare well so far. But what types of changes do you think need to be implemented, not just in Texas, but other parts of the United States when it comes to the energy grid?
Well, one of the things I've read, and I'm not really an expert on energy production itself, is that renewables have aided in maintaining power supplies in Texas, and that seems to be an important aspect, is to have additional capabilities so that one doesn't have blackouts or brownouts, because if that happens, then air conditioning fails, and then people will die.
Michael Weiner is a senior scientist at the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. Michael, thank you so much for stopping by today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.